Okay, so the last class, I was outside Lagos, so I could not really have a full class with you. The environment was not conducive. So I just had to do a brief introduction, knowing that when I have my next class, we will now have a full class. So we'll not be able to do too much of introduction now, but I can see that we are 20 on this call. I hope we can make the most of it. The classes, the semester is short. After today, I have one more class and there's so much to cover. So can I quickly give us the course outline?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So the first course outline is Introduction to General Ethics. Introduction to General Ethics. The second one is first course outline, Introduction to General Ethics. The second one is Ethical Standards in Professional Social Work. Number 2, Ethical Standards in Professional Social Work. Then number 3, Decision Making and Practical Application. Decision Making and Practical Application. The next one is...
We can't hear you, ma.
Did you get the first one?
Yes, I did. Number 3.
Did you get the second one?
Yes.
Number I didn't get the first one.
Somebody has
After
gotten
the
it.
introduction to general ethics.
If somebody has gotten it, you share it with the other people in class so that we can move fast.
Okay.
All of us cannot get it together, but when we finish, when you get to your WhatsApp group, you can just fill other people in. So I'm just going to go to the third one, Decision Making in Practical Application. The first one is Introduction to General Ethics. Second one is Ethical Standards in Professional Social Work. Number 3, Decision Making in Practical Application. Number 4, Role of social workers in some specific fields of practice. Number 4, Role of social workers in some specific fields of practice. Number 5, Social work and social justice. Social work and social justice. Then number 6, Evidence-informed practice perspective. Number 6, Evidence-informed practice perspective, applicable cases and analysis. Number 6, Evidence-informed practice perspective, applicable cases and analysis. Then you have in bracket studies. If you look at this course outline, you can see that this was what I gave as the assignment in the group work. This was what I gave as assignment in the group work. So I'm sure that everybody has it. I'm sure that everybody has this course outline that I've given now. Who does not have it? Governor.
I don't have it yet.
Are you not in? You are not in any group.
Meaning she's not in a group.
Okay, yeah. No. I'm in the group.
Which group are you in now?
I'm in group 6.
Okay.
I don't have a group, ma.
No, that's not what we are discussing here now. Your governor is on top of the groupings. Okay, so the objective of our course, which is social work.
I don't have it.
Please don't distract us with having or not having. I beg. We have just one more class to go, and we have so many other things to talk about. Your governor is on top of all the groupings. That I'm aware of. If you have any problem with groupings and assignments, please reach out to your governor.
Okay, ma.
Okay, so our course title is Social Work Ethics and Jurisprudence. And our course code is PGD002. So the objective of our lecture from now till when we are going to finish is to discuss the core values of social work profession. And then we're also going to discuss and identify the purpose of social work ethics. What's code of ethics? What do they serve? And we also discuss social work ethical principles in relation to social work core values. And then we'll talk about social work ethical standards and their relevance to social work practice. You know that in everything that we do, all organizations have their culture and their standards. We know that the standard and ethics in the medical association for members of, for people that we know who are doctors, who belong to the NMA, Nigerian Medical Association, is that you don't disclose your patient's medical status. You never disclose it to anybody, not in any way or form. So for us in social work too, we also have our ethics. So that is why we are here. And we also have standards we are supposed to uphold in social work. So let me just throw this to us. What is social work? Anybody can answer. Can you hear me? Am I on?
Yes, ma.
Yes. So what is social work? Any person can answer.
Hello. Hello. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, you can answer. You can answer me. What is social work?
Social work is a work carried out by the professionals, mainly to improve the quality of the life of people who cannot be able to accomplish their life task or goals.
Yes. There's no wrong and right answer. That's the way she can put her own. So what's social work? She has hit the nail on the head. You can also tell us another one.
Okay, ma, let me tell us another one.
Yes.
Okay, social work is a profession that helps individuals, families, groups to enhance their collective well-being.
Thank you. What is social work? Another person.
Okay, I'd like to tell it's a practice-based profession that promotes social changes and development and also empowerment, including the liberation of the people around us.
Thank you. Another person. Are there no men in this class?
Hello, ma. This is a man talking now. Good afternoon.
Yes. Don't
right,
say what others have said, though.
Okay, social work is a profession that concerns itself primarily with, remedying psychosocial problems and deficiencies, that exist in the society.
Thank you. Does any other person want to define the last person?
Yeah, for me, it is a profession that involves the understanding of human development.
Thank you. So what all of us have said, in short, is that social work is a helping profession. That help must be there because we are helping somebody to do all the things that the five of us have said. So we can say that it is a helping profession that is carried out by trained personnel. There's no quackery in our work any longer. especially when we became chartered. You know, we are all chartered social workers now. By the time you finish and you join us, you'll be a chartered social worker. So it is a helping profession that is carried out by trained personnel like me and you. You are undergoing your training now. By the time you finish, you'll be a trained social worker with the aim of alleviating the social economic conditions of people. All that I'm saying now is what you have said in your own different ways. So you are going to be a trained professional social worker, and you are going to be in a helping profession. And the aim is just to alleviate the socio-economic conditions of people. Then it is also a practice-based profession. You practice in your setting, whether you are a welfare social worker, whether you're a psychiatric social worker, whether you're a school-based social worker, whether you're an industrial social worker, whatever area of social work you are doing, it is a practice-based profession and an academic discipline. There's nobody who is lower than a first good living certificate or a teacher training certificate or OND or HND or first degree or PhD or PGD where you are now. So it is an academic discipline that promotes social change. If you're a social worker, there must be a change socially that you are promoting. Either you are adding value wherever you have found yourself, in your school, in your place of work, in your profession, in your office. So it promotes social change and development. There's no way you can say that you are a social worker and you do not add value by providing some sort of development in your sphere of practice. So you promote social change, you promote development, you promote social cohesion. Socially, you make things happen. Socially, you make change. Socially, you add value wherever you find yourself. And also you empower and liberate people. That is what all of us have said when we are talking about the definition. So it is a practice-based profession and an academic discipline that promotes social change and development. It also promotes social cohesion. And you as a social worker, you bring about empowerment and the liberation of people. So when we are looking at the principles of social justice, we talk about human rights, collective responsibility, and we also talk about the respect for diversities. All of these are central to social work. Social justice, human rights, collective responsibility, and respect for diversities. When we're talking about diversities, you are Igbo, you are Hausa, you are Yoruba, you are Albino, you are people with disability. All of these are diversities that all of us have found ourselves. So there must be respect for all these diversities. And all of these are central to social work. All this collectively is what we're talking about. So our course title is Ethics, Social Work Ethics and Jurisprudence. So when we talk about jurisprudence, for those of us who are lawyers, we can say it is what is jurisprudence? It is the theory of law, the philosophy of law, the study, knowledge, or science of law. In short, when we talk about jurisprudence, all this is what we mean. Theory of law, philosophy of law, or the study, the knowledge or science of law. Sorry, it's like I have cough. So those are all that we talk about. So if we say we should define social work again, how do we define it? I need somebody to answer me.
Are you looking for something different from what the others have said? Or
No. For all that we have said in summary now. For all that I'm saying.
It's a helping profession, an academic discipline carried out by professionals aimed at alleviating harsh social conditions while promoting social change,
Exactly.
development, social cohesion. It is
So as a
practice-based.
social as a social worker, when helping prevention, it's not practiced by quacks. The day of quackery is over. It's also an academic discipline. You bring about social change and development, and all that has to do with adding of value to the human person. So let's look at the core values of social work. The first one is justice, the values that we have. All organizations have their culture. All organizations too have their values. For all of us who are social workers, these are the things that we hold dear, that are valuable to us in our profession. And that is service, the service that we render to our clients or people that we come across in our work sphere. So one of our core values is service. The second value is social justice. The third value is the dignity and worth of the person. Everybody has a dignity. Everybody has a worth. That is why as social workers, when the dignity of any person is trampled upon, and we talked about social justice, social worker is always there. So the first core value is service. Second one is social justice. The third core value is dignity and worth of the person. The fourth one is human relationship, integrity, and competence. So as social workers, service is important to us. You know, I mentioned that we are all in different practice settings. So service that we render in our different service practice are different. Then there's also the core value of social justice, the dignity and the worth of the person. The fourth one, human relationship, fifth one, integrity and competence. So all these are the core values that we hold here as social workers. So if you are in this profession, you endeavor that in the service that you render, it is top notch. You bring about social justice for people whose dignity have been trampled upon. You ensure that the dignity and worth of the person is in place. Then there's also human relationship. As a social worker, you endeavor that there's human relationships at the peak. Then you must work with integrity. If you have given your client appointment for 9, you cannot come to that appointment 5 minutes past 9.
Excuse me, ma'am. Hello, can I speak, please?
Yes, please.
You said dignity and work or word. I want to know, I didn't get the other word. Is it word or work? Please.
Word.
That's why I said, please.
Worth.
Let
Worth.
us fulfill ourselves.
W-O-R-T-H.
Okay, thank you.
We can fill ourselves in, or when we finish, then we can ask questions so that we don't derail. Can we do that? If there's anything we want to ask or say, let us write it down. Then when we finish the class, then we can talk about it when we are sharing. So dignity and worth of the person, that's W-O-R-T-H. Then the fourth one, human relationship, integrity. I was talking about integrity. When you give your client appointment for 9, don't come in 5 minutes past 9. The client does not come before you. Everything you discussed about with your client stays in your office. It does not go out of your office. You must have integrity. Sister has come to talk to you as a social worker in your church, and the whole church has heard about it. An adolescent has come to talk to you about an abuse case. Stories all over the place. So we must have integrity, how we must be competent in everything that we do. We must be competent. So we're talking about the purpose of code of ethics. The purpose of the code of ethics. And we must know that as social workers, professional ethics are at the core of social work. The ethical standards must be maintained. So professional ethics are at the core of social work. Then the profession has an obligation to articulate its basic values. As we have mentioned, the 6 basic values of service, social justice, dignity and worth of the person, human relationship, integrity, and competence. We must articulate all these basic values and all the ethical principles. We are still going to come to ethical principles. We see them as ethical standards. So the purpose of the code of ethics is that this our profession has an obligation to articulate all of this. It must articulate our values, it must articulate our ethical principles and our ethical standards. And also, code of ethics is set forth all these values. It will set up our principles, standards, and all of these are to guide us as social workers, to guide our conduct. So let us look broadly. The code of ethics, what do they stand? Let us look at the purposes that the code of ethics stands. And they serve 6 purposes. So the code of ethics identifies our core values, the 6 core values that we have mentioned, on which social work nation is based. The 6 values that we have mentioned. So the ethics is going to identify the core values on which social work nation is based. Second one that it does is that it summarizes the broad ethical principles that reflects our profession's core values, and in such a way that it establishes a set of specific ethical standards that should be used to guide social work practice. As I said, we are still going to talk about the ethical standards. Then the code of ethics is also designed to help us as social workers to identify relevant considerations when professional obligations conflict or ethical uncertainties arise. You know, sometimes as social workers, we have standards that we are supposed to maintain. For example, as social workers, we must not date our clients. As social workers, there are some gifts that we are not supposed to receive from our clients. So if we do all this, it's against our ethical principles. So this code now, it will help us to design and help us to identify the relevant considerations when professional obligations conflict with our ethical uncertainties, when emotions are high, when we act against our ethics. This code is designed to help us to identify what and what we should not do. That's what that number 3 purpose is talking about. Then the 4th one is that our code of ethics as social workers, it provides us ethical standards. The social workers will have standards that we must maintain. So it will help us to provide ethical standards to which the general public can hold us accountable. So we also have standards that people that are looking at us, people that are our clients, what we do, they can hold us accountable. So the code will provide that ethical standard, which the general public can hold us as social workers accountable. Then also, this code of ethics also socializes practitioners who are new to the field of social work. So as we go along, as we are coming into our profession, our code is going to socialize you. You will know your do's, you know your don'ts, you know the ethical standards, you know the ethics, you know the ethical principles as social workers. So it will socialize you as practitioners. And the last one is that it will articulate the standards that social work profession itself can use to assess whether you as social worker have engage in unethical standards. So all organizations have their code of ethics, they have their aims, they have their objectives. For example, those of us at the Institute of Social Work, we have our code, we have our values. National Association of Social Work, international organization, they also have their core values, they have their principles, they have their National Association of Social Workers, which is also an international organization. They have their code of ethics, they have their principles, they have their ethical standards. So organizations, all organizations have all these code of ethics and principles. So for starters, I would like us to go to the Chartered Institute of Social Work of Nigeria. We'll go to our website. I'm giving this assignment now. We'll go to the Chartered Institute of Social Work of Nigeria. We'll go to our website, see whether you can find anything about our vision. You can find anything about our mission, our aims and objectives. Governor, can you hear me?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. I can hear, ma.
So I'm giving an assignment now.
Okay,
I
ma.
want us to go to the website of our organization, Institute of Social Work Practitioners of Nigeria. I want us to look at our vision, our mission, and aims and objectives. So we look at our own, then we look at IFSW. Let's also look at their mission, their vision, aims and objectives. IFSW is International Federation of Social Workers. Let us compare.
Okay, ma.
There's a third
okay,
one,
ma.
let me leave that one for you.
Okay, ma.
For example, the National Association of Social Work, I think it's an American social work organization. They have formal procedures to adjudicate, that is to settle or resolve ethics. If there's complaint about their members, it's already there. So it's part of their policy. What they will do when there's a complaint about any member is already on the website. So we should also note that in organizations, in subscribing to any code of ethics of any organization, social workers are required to cooperate in its implementation. If there's any complaint that has come to us as social workers, the code of ethics is already there. The standards are already there. The principles are already there. So if we as social workers, and our policy is saying that we should not date any of our clients, or we should not receive presents of any kind from our clients, and our client sends us a charge card, and our client does anything that is outside what we're supposed to do, when there's a complaint about us, we are required as social workers to cooperate in the implementation of whatever it is. And we are also to abide by any disciplinary ruling or sanctions that is based on whatever it is that we are accused of. So let's also look at our 6 values that we have mentioned. The value of, can we mention the core values? And somebody mentioned the core values for us.
The core values of service we render to our clients.
Yes.
Social justice.
Social justice.
Dignity and worth of the person.
Another person to mention.
Human relationships. Integrity and competence.
Integrity and competence. So let us look at ethical principles. These are one by one, these core values. So we're taking the first one, the first value, which is service. So the ethical principle, when we're talking about service, Ethical principle is just that our primary goal is to help people who are in need to access and address social justice when we are rendering good service. And we as social workers should also elevate service to others above self-interest. Just as we say in Child Protection Network, the interest of the child, in the best interest of the child. Those of us who are advocates for children, everything that we do should be in the best interest of the child. Even as social workers, when we find ourselves going to court, family court, as social workers, whatever it is that you as a social worker in that team going to that court, whatever proceedings, whatever decision that they are taking should be in the best interest of that child. Because some of us as social workers, we can find ourselves in social work, or even in the ministry or anywhere that we have issues concerning children that need to go to court. We should know that as social workers, whatever is going to be attended to, whatever is going to be discussed in that court should be in the best interest of the child. So you, as a social worker, service should be above your own self-interest. Interest of others should come first. That is why it is saying that in our code of ethics, we don't how do they say it? Business pleasure, and how do they say that in English? Business and pleasure does not go together. And also as social workers, when we're talking about the value of service, you must draw on your knowledge that you have. The knowledge that you have in the course of your studies, and the value that you hold dear, and the skills that you already have. So you're going to draw on all of this. You will draw on your knowledge, your values and skills. All of this you are going to use to help people who are in need and to address social problems. So all the knowledge that you have, both in your primary, your secondary, even in this university, your place of work, experience that you have gathered in your family, in your place of work, in your meeting, and the skills that you also have. For example, the skills that you have, the listening skills when you are having counseling, the skills that you have when you are interviewing somebody, skills of nodding. Nod when your client is talking to you. When you are nodding, your client will know that you are listening. When you are nodding and you are having eye contact, your client will know that you are listening to her or him. But when you are pressing your phone and you are looking away, you're opening the drawer, you are fidgeting, the client will see that this one is not even listening to me. But when you are looking at the client and you are nodding your head, you are giving some kind of sign to show that you are following, the client will trust you and the client will talk to you, open up to you. So you must draw on all this knowledge. Draw on your knowledge and the values that you hold dear, and the skills. All of these are going to bring them together to help people in need. We're also going to use them to address social problems. For example, a woman who has been abused, or a child that has been abused, has come to you, talking to you, and you're interjecting. And why did you wear that kind of clothes? And you said, if your husband talk when you talk 10, you know, all those interjections, there are no skills that are required for you, but the skills of following, asking relevant questions when your client has finished, concentrating when your client is talking, making your office conducive for counseling, talking, for listening to your clients. All of these are what we're going to bring together. Because by the time you finish this course, you expect that the way you have been talking to your clients before will not be the same. The office must be conducive when your client is coming in. Your bag will not be on your table, your phone will be away. You can even put your phone on silence so that there's no interruption. So all of these are what you're going to bring together to help address all the social risks. Because if your client is at peace, the client trusts you, your client knows that I've come to my last junction, to my last bus stop. The social worker that I've come to talk to can help me to find your problems. So all of these are going to be used to address social problems. And then we also encourage you as social worker to volunteer some parts of your professional skills with no expectation of significant financial return. That's you do some pro bono around you, your street, in your church, you know. Apart from the ones that you do that brings you kind of financial gain. So that's what we talk about when we're talking about service. We help people in need to address their problem, educate service to others above your own self, and then all the skills and all the knowledge that you have, you bring all of them together when you are rendering that service to address social problems, and also can give some of the service free. When your family members call you to come and talk about, they know you as a social worker, they ask you to come and do one or two things, and offer those services free. So let's look at social justice. What are the principles when we're talking about social justice? Social justice is just about bringing justice to people whose rights have been trampled upon. So we must be able to challenge some social justice that we have around us. The landlord who's in your house, the son has abused one of the tenants. Ensure that you bring justice to that situation. Any human rights issues that you come across, if you cannot take care of it, you can do a referral. For example, then you must also, as social workers, bring about social change. In the environment where you are, it's something that is not onto what has been happening before. But because you're a social worker, if you have found yourself in that situation, there must be a change. You must be the person that they will say, you have done this thing again. I'm going to talk to that social worker. She knows where to direct this issue. So there must be a change wherever you have found yourself. So talking about the value of social justice. And you must be able to effect social change. It will not be the same when you have found yourself in that situation. And you must also have access to needed information. You must have access to services. You must have access to resources. You must have access to equal opportunity for everybody. And then you must also be part of meaningful participation in decision making. For example, we as social workers, we must know where to refer cases to. For example, we must have sexual access to referral centers. For those of us who have found ourselves in schools, maybe there's any of our children that has been abused, we must know where to quickly refer that child to. Police station, human rights people, human rights desk. When you get to the police station, issues of children must go to the human rights desk. You don't dabble it with other ones. Issues of children, proceedings in children, goes to family courts. So all those ones, as social workers, you must think about social justice. People around you must see when they're looking for information in any particular area, they'll be able to supply them with this information. NGOs who are working with children, NGOs who are working with women, police station, GPO, all those things, we must be able to give people those needed information and service and resources. So that's what we talk about social justice. You must pursue social change. We must work towards social change. And we must bring about we must challenge social injustice. You say that this landlord, his son is fond of abusing children. This landlord himself is a pedophile. When you as a social worker get into that community, they will know that the social worker has come. So you must effect that social change. Then let us look at the principles of the dignity and worth of the human person. You as a social worker must recognize the dignity and worth of the human person. In your relationship terms, talk about respect. Talk about keeping whatever it is around you and your clients, let it be in the office. Respect. Don't look down on your clients. When your client is talking to you, don't interject. Let him finish. You don't say, Ben, shut up there, you safe. You know, all those things, you must respect the dignity. Everybody has their word. When we don't treat our kids well, there's a kind of feeling that they have. They will not open to you. They will not be open to us and will not be able to solve that problem. So we must endeavor to strengthen relationships among people in a purposeful manner so that we can promote, we can restore, we can maintain the well-being of individuals, the well-being of families, social groups, organizations, and communities. Because as social workers, we'll be working with individuals, we'll be working with families, we'll be working with social groups, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, we'll be working with organizations, can even be working with communities. So we must know the culture of those people. Language at times too, when you understand people's language, is still part of it. Then human relationships is also the same thing as when we are talking about the dignity of the person. And then integrity. So we as social workers should continually be aware of our profession's mission, our values, and then we must honestly act and responsibly act. Because when we act honestly and responsibly, we are promoting the ethical practice, you know, on the part of our organizations that we are working with. Competence cannot be overemphasized. So you must continually increase your professional knowledge and skills. That is why you have come to our institute, because you want to increase your knowledge, you want to increase your expertise in a professional manner. It's not only certificates. Even those of us that have come to collect certificates here now, and because of these lectures and interaction with your colleagues, you must have added value in one way or the other. And then you must also aspire to contribute to the knowledge base of the profession. There must be something that you too, as an individual, will bring into the institute, as even the institute is given to you. Do you have any question at this point?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So let us look at the ethical
Yes, there's a
standards.
question.
Okay, so just write it down. Write it down. Let's take
You're
the
not
last
audible.
one.
Your line
My line is
is
gone.
breaking.
A call is trying to come in now, so I was cutting it off. A
I
call
can't hear
was trying to
you.
come in.
It keeps breaking the line, and we couldn't hear clearly.
Yes, a call was trying to come in, so I had to break the call. Can you hear me now?
I didn't hear the principle of human relation. I didn't hear anything you said in that aspect, ma'am.
Sorry?
The principle of human relationship, I didn't hear anything you said because there was an obstruction in the audio.
Yes, a call was trying to come in. I said in the principle of human relationship is also like the dignity and worth of the person. So that is why I said in the human relationship, we must strengthen relationship among people. And then we must promote, we must restore and maintain the well-being of families, social groups, organizations, and communities. So it's just the same thing as the dignity and worth of the person. So let us look at the ethical standard. We have looked at the principles vis-a-vis the core values. So the following ethical standards are relevant to the professional activities of all social workers. So we must maintain the standard to our clients. We must maintain standard to our colleagues. We must maintain standard to our practice settings. And then we also have ethical responsibility as professionals. As professionals, we have ethical responsibilities. And then to the social work profession itself, we must maintain that standard. And then to the broader society. So we must maintain standard to our clients. There's a standard that is already set in our place of work that we should maintain. Standard to our colleagues, standard to our practice settings. We must maintain standard to the profession itself as professionals. And then to the social work profession itself. And then to the broader society. So those standards in those 6 perspectives are very, very important. Somebody wanted to say something. Hello? Hello?
Hello, you said to maintain standard to clients, community,
yes,
practice,
yes,
then
yes,
profession.
yes.
That's fine, but you said
in all those core areas.
Yes, but you said 6, but we have.
So we must maintain standard with our clients. We must not do, we must not treat our clients wishy-washy. When we are dealing with our clients, we must maintain social work standards. For example, we talked about when we are talking to our clients, the way we are supposed to be talking to them, the way our body language is supposed to be. You don't do your face in a kind of way that your clients will be discouraged. Whatever the person wants to say, the person will not say it again. You are opening your bag, you are closing it. You're opening your bag, you are closing it. You are pressing your phone. The clients will know that you have not given 100%. So we must maintain ethical responsibility to our clients, even to our colleagues. To our colleagues. To the practice settings itself. Then as professionals, we must maintain ethical standard to the social work profession itself and then to the broader society. So those are the 6 areas. Okay. So just as we said,
the broader society, ma.
Yes, the broader society. We must also maintain the standard, the broader society. So as we said earlier, we said that social work is a helping profession. You know, majority of us started social work as we wanted to help people. This person is always bringing problem. This child is always running to us. And that's how we started it. And then we found out that it is something that we love to do. Then we decided to professionalize it, to go for more studies. So that is how some of us started, and we have found ourselves this way. So we started as helpers to people in need within our society, within our community. So social work itself cannot be ignored. In all areas and sectors, social work is important. For example, in school, in the home, in the environment, with children, even in government, even in human rights. That's why we have social work departments, in the ministries, departments, and agencies. We have in the police station, we have human rights desk. Issues of social work and go to those human rights desks. Then the corners of development in advanced countries lies on effective social work practice. That's why you see that so many people want to japa now. They want to work in homes. They want to work in government. They want to work in hospitals. But they must act as professionals even in those places that they go. So, and we know that all these advanced countries, they are organized. They also have data that they work with. So it is easy for them to provide whatever it is for their citizens because they know the number of citizens that they have. And then if you are coming in as
a social worker to their countries, they have a way of getting your database, and you need to conform. We have found so many of our people that are social workers that have acted against their company in a wrong manner. They have not followed the ethical principles and standards. They have done what they ought not to do, and they have been sent back home. So, and we as social work practitioners, we should recognize our role, our importance in the society. Okay, so the recognition and adherence to the right ethics and code of practice is the beginning of wisdom. So we should know the ethical principles, the ethical standards, the code of ethics, and all that drives our profession. Okay. So we also have a duty of care and the duty to do no harm. We must do no harm. As professional social workers, we should know our ethical concern towards our clients in the course of our work. Okay? So I'll stop here today because we have some discussions to give. But I can take some questions and some contributions at this point. So the floor is open.
Well done, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am, the question that I noted while you were talking, you said something about we having, access to resources. So, for example, now maybe in my compound, I find that there's a couple that's always fighting. So, what resource? How do I access? What's the difference between me as a social worker and any concerned neighbor? What gives me an edge? Do I go there and flash my ID card, say, okay, I'm a chartered social worker? Is that kind of thing recognized in our country? You understand? Talking about ethics, how does one work within his or her boundaries? And what kind of cooperation should we expect from something like a police station now, in this case, ma'am?
Do we have any person who wants to answer the question amongst us? Do we have anyone? Yes.
Let me respond.
Okay. Light up.
Okay, I think as a social worker, what you can do in that context is to refer the case to the Ministry of Women Affairs. I had a similar experience where I live at the moment. I have this neighbor that is very abusive, and he also has this tendency of defiling children. So I walked up to him and I called him because there was a case that came up that Saturday morning in heated argument. So I went to him and I had a word with him, and I told him I was going to refer his case to the Social Welfare Department in the Ministry of Women Affairs. And I actually did that, right? So what I did was to refer and take myself out of the case. And the Ministry of Women Affairs actually took up the case and it was resolved, and other measures were put in place to protect the woman and protect her children as well.
Okay, thank you. Does any other person want to share? Does any other person want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. I think the last speaker just said it all. Since we are not licensed for now, we can make a report to the appropriate.
So we must have those resources. We must have the resources. I talked about sexual assault and referral centers, where we have issues of either defilement of underage or rape. We have when we even go online, just type in sexual access referral centers. You will see domestic and sexual violence agency that is owned by Lagos State. You will see Mirabel Center that is in Lut. You will see
I know.
Ireti. You will see Ireti somewhere in Ikotu Igbe. You will see Warif. Even Lagos State government have decentralized. They have sexual access referral center in Ikorodu and in all those other areas. So those are the resources that we must have as social workers. Also, we must also have the resources of DPOs in communities where we are working, at the police station, because we can report any incident that we have seen. They say that see something, you say something, and you do something. If we don't want to come out ourselves to, like what our sister did by telling that man that she was going to report him was a risk. Thank God that it came out well. We could also do some reportage at the ministry without letting whoever it is, if the perpetrator is a violent person, we may not need to stick our necks out. They can become mandate reporters. That's an anonymous mandate reporter. You who has come to report that case, you are known as a mandate reporter because you have the issues. It is in your compound. You know the address, you know the man's name. You know where he's working, you know his telephone number. You know, if it is an issue that has come, somebody's just mentioned it in the school or in the church, you know where to go to, you know where to report to. Even in the school, we have social workers in the school. You can report issues like that to the schools where we are. So all those resources are contacts of relevant agencies that can help us to do our work better. If it is the issue of the dignity and worth of the person that is trampled upon, you know, human rights organizations that we can go to when it comes to spousal abuse, when it comes to whatever it is that is a social injustice. It's just for us, the resources are just to know where to go to get justice for those people and to make sure that the human rights of those persons are not trampled upon. So those are the resources that we have that we need to use each and every time that is effective. For example, police station now, you go to DPO's office, DPO will talk. Maybe the other person is a big man somewhere, but not, you can just walk up to the human rights desk, you know, and if it is a problem of a child or abuse of a woman or anything, you can walk to the human rights desk and let them know. By the time you start talking, they will know that you are somebody who has information and who is knowledgeable about social work. So they will not want to do anything that will make you want to take up the case further. So we must assert ourselves. That's why we are coming here to get skills in order to alleviate social justice. Has that question been answered? So
Yes,
there's
ma'am.
also room for collaboration, because in all of this that we are talking about is all about collaboration. The internet has become a global village where you can ask any question, you can ask any information, and you will get it. You can see contacts, telephone numbers, names, whatever it is, human rights organization. When you Google it, you will see many will come up. Sexual assault and referral centers, many of them will come up. You know? So, have we answered that question?
Yes, ma'am. It has been answered. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello,
Hello?
ma.
Yes,
Hello, ma.
ma'am, we can hear you.
Yes. Somebody's hand is up.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Please, ma, I want to ask if there will be any material for us from you, please.
Yes, there will be.
Okay, thank you very much, ma.
And then also the material is what we as groups are also putting together.
Yes, ma.
So that's where I'm going now. We have a grouping. Now we have 6 groups. We have 6 groups. Group 1 has, I think, maybe 7 or 8 people. Are we aware of that? Group 1. Who is the leader of Group 1?
Bukola, we have like, I think 10 or thereabouts.
In Group 1, we have 10 people.
Right?
Adebukola Adenuga, is she the head of Group 1?
Some other people are joining.
I know. Is
Yes,
it Adebukola Adenuga that is the head of Group 1?
Yes, ma.
Okay, so Bukola, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay. Who is your secretary?
Alade.
Alade Dominic Olajide.
Yes, Dominion.
Okay,
Yes.
Dominion. Sorry, Dominion Olajide. Group 2. You know
Yes,
that your
ma.
topic is Introduction to General Ethics. Okay, so Group 2.
Yes, ma.
Eh?
Okay.
No. Ethics and jurisprudence.
And that's for Group 1. Introduction to Ethics
Group
and
1,
Jurisprudence.
Introduction to General Ethics.
Yes.
Group 1.
Yes.
Yes. And Group 1, you are doing your presentation on the 16th of February. I hope you are aware.
Okay.
7 p.m.
Yes, ma.
on Friday.
They are aware, ma.
Okay. Then it's just going to be for 30 minutes. It's going to be for 30 minutes. Yes. Then Group 2, who is the head?
I am, ma.
Okay. Temitope Murayo Njoku.
Yes, ma.
Who is your secretary?
Akinade Grace. But we are working together.
Okay,
Yes,
so your topic is ethical standards in professional social work.
Yes, ma.
You are looking at ethical standards.
Yes, ma.
And you are also presenting on the 16th.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma.
At 9 p.m.
Yes, ma.
Okay. Group 3. Who is the head of Group 3?
I'm here, ma.
What's your name?
Okoro Progress.
Okay. Who is your secretary?
Ohioma Oki. Is I'm okay?
Okay, so okay. What's your assignment?
Decision making in practical application.
Yeah, so we are talking about decision making in practical application.
Yes, ma.
So you are presenting on the 23rd at 7 p.m. Group 1, you are submitting your work on the 14th. Group 1, you are submitting, yes, on the 14th.
Okay, ma.
There's a mix up here. Group
Ma,
1 and 2.
I think
Group 1 and 2 should submit on the 14th. Too. I've made a mistake here. Group 1 and 2, since you are presenting on the 16th, you are supposed to submit on the 14th. Group 1 and 2. Yes. Group 1 and 2 will submit on the 14th. So Group 3, they are submitting on the 21st.
Okay, ma.
On the 21st.
Okay.
Group 3 and 4, 21st. Then Group 5 and 6, you are submitting on the 28th. Please note, there's a mistake here.
Ma, please, ma, I want to say something, ma. I'm sorry, some people might not be happy what I'm about to say now, but you just presented our assignment for group 1 and group 2. So I think if we are ready with our assignments, we should just submit immediately, because we are having other assignments come up, and then I think we have about 2 weeks already for these assignments, because while you were presenting, I had to quickly forward for group 2 because you were presenting exactly what we have already done in our assignments. So it doesn't look like we have already, you've taught us what we are supposed to submit.
If your assignment is ready, you can present, you can submit. But
okay,
you are still going to talk to the class.
Yes, ma.
You are still going to talk to the class. You can present, you can submit it, it doesn't matter. Any person that has finished the assignments, just submit.
Okay,
it's even better. It's better for scoring.
Yes. Okay, ma.
Yes. And please ensure that you put all the group members' name. Please don't add any person who is not part of the assignment to
assignment. Okay, ma.
Yes.
We'll take note.
Yeah, very good.
Yes. So group 4. Group 4, I finished with you, Abi. Group 5. Who is the leader in group 5? Group 5 leader.
Toyosi Akinya.
Okay.
But I don't know if she's in class.
Who is her secretary?
Abdulaziz Bashurat Fumilola.
Okay. So I have 32 people in this class now, Governor. So I'm expecting 32 people on my attendance.
I've sent it to you already, ma.
So group 5, who is the head?
No, group 6 now.
No, I've not gotten the name of the secretary and the head of group 5.
Okay, Toyosi Akinya for group 5.
Okay, the secretary?
Abdulaziz Bashurat Fumilola.
Okay. So how many people are in group 5?
I think there are about 7. We are still 7, but I just got 2 students yesterday, so I would have to split them into the groupings, ma.
Please, the assignment that you are submitting, any new people that are coming, we cannot put them in that group any longer.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma.
So probably the last group will have many people, so that they'll be part of the groupings, so that we can score them as well.
Okay, ma. So
okay, so group 6.
We have Uma Deborah Ngozi for the leader.
Okay. Yes.
And Georgia Lavdas for the secretary.
All right. So group 1 and 2, if you are ready, you can submit. You are presenting on Wednesday, 14th February. 3 and 4,
no, 16th.
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 Oh,
yes,
sorry, yes, 16th, yes. Submission is 14th.
Yes, ma'am.
Then groups 3 and 4, you are submitting on the 23rd. You are presenting on the 23rd. You are submitting before then on the 21st. And then 5 and 6, you are presenting 1st March and you are submitting 28th February. Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Can we call it a day?
Ma'am, please, I want to ask a question.
Ask a question.
Okay. All right. Please go ahead. Before my battery will go down, I'm using my power bank.
Okay, ma'am. This presentation that is on a Friday, I don't know how we'll cope, because some of us might still be on traffic in Lagos State here. I don't know.
That is why you have secretary, and already you have all collectively done that work together.
I wanted to say that too.
Yes, you have collectively done it together. That is why we must ensure that everybody is part of it. The essence of doing all this is that when group 1 and 2 is presenting, everybody will be there. I hope you know that everybody will be there to hear, because they are going to be talking, you are going to be jotting. Because whatever it is we are doing exam will not be outside what people are presenting. So it will make it better for us. So the presentation should not be more than 30 minutes. Any particular group, 30 minutes. The second group, 30 minutes. Then we can take any question. If there's no question, we can call it a day. So if you are not talking, if you are not presenting, you can just put your earpiece and just be listening. If there's any question you want to ask, you can type it in the chat box. What do you think?
What I'm saying, most of us, Lagos traffic, we might not even hear what the presenters are presenting because of the traffic and all that.
Go and get your earpiece. It is for our good. Or you want us to make it the time earlier?
Earlier
or later?
we'll still be at work.
That's why we put it in the evening. Or do we do it later than 9? Is that what you are suggesting?
No, ma. That's not nice, ma.
We need to go and rest for the next day's work.
Times are 7 and 9. We just make ourselves available.
If you're not presenting, you can just listen along. You can get an earpiece. It will help you to mute the sound around you, and then it will just go directly to your ears. That's what I do now. I always have 2 earpieces with me whenever I find myself in any noisy place. Okay, any other?
So, Ma, I wanted to know, what's the word count for this assignment?
The what?
The word count for the assignment.
Well, I'm not actually giving any
specification
for that. The group should decide on what they are doing.
Okay, ma.
I don't think we should try and limit. We should not try and limit any group, but of course, it should not be under standard. It should be way above standard. And when we are doing any work, if it is substandard, we will know. I don't expect any group to do any substandard work. And that is not to say that somebody will go and do a 6-page work, or go and do a 4-page work. I don't know whether it's clear.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Let's
Very
just try and
clear.
maintain standard. Let us do a good job. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
All right. And also, we are going to share whatever it is that we are doing. We share with all the groups. Group 1 we share to group 2 to 5. Group 2 we share to group 1 4 to 5. Each group must have what each person is doing, so that everybody will have a knowledge of each group's work. Apart from when you are presenting on that day, everybody is listening. You should also send your work to the group chat so that everybody will have a feel of this.
Okay, ma.
What else?
Please, ma. Please, for clarification, you said we shouldn't do a 6 to 4 pages work. I don't understand, ma. You mean it should be more than that, or it should be less than that?
What are you writing in 6 pages?
Okay, ma.
What are you writing in 6 pages, 5 pages? Or the assignment, is it the group 1 and 2, is it up to 10 pages?
No, ma.
Oh, God, you can't present that in 30 minutes.
No.
We have just pages.
You know, the time will also pertain whatever you are presenting. You know? Okay. Do we have any other? Can we call it a day?
Yes, ma'am.
So my assignment will be submitted. My assignment will be submitted next week. Same time.
Okay, ma.
On Sunday.
Okay, ma.
Okay.
So report to your email individually.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
All right, ma.
Yes, please. So have a blessed working week.
Bye, ma.
Yes, ma.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, ma.
Bye, ma.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, ma. Bye.
from the 6th. Okay. 6 to 8. Ọ na-eri ego. Oh yeah, 3 consecutive one yesterday, come Saturday now. Oh,
Hey.